about the problem leading to environmental problems. So these problems are caused by natural changes. So hell of a lot of changes in the world. So next up, we're going to discuss about what is sustainable development. So we hear a lot of discussions about sustainable development. So I'm just going to run through this one. Sustainable development, SD, implies economic growth together with the protection of environmental quality, each reinforcing the other. Sustainable development thus is maintaining a balance between the human need to improve lifestyle and feeling of well-being on the one hand, and preserving natural resources and ecosystems on which we and future generations depend. So we have different definitions of SD: to improve the quality of life while living within the carrying capacity of the ecosystems, the IUCN, the World Conservation Union, 1991. We also have development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. That is according to the Brundtland Report 1987. And also, sustainability is just another way of saying the good life as a combination of a high level of human well-being, and B, the high level of ecosystem well-being that supports it. That is according to Alan Prescott. Models of sustainable development. We have a lot of models. Actually, we have the three models which help us to understand the concept of sustainability better, help us gather, share, and analyze information. They help coordinating work and educate and train professionals, policymakers, and the public in general. So first up, we have this first model which is focused on the environmental conservation, economic growth, and social equity or dimensions. Sustainable development is modeled on these variable, equitable three pillars. No? The first model that we have. Second, we have the egg of sustainability. So in the graph, no, in this picture, we can really see that it's kind of egg, no? And we have the inner one having the people and the ecosystem, and having arrows down, arrows up, which means it is a vice versa. No, the flow and the flows of success and benefits from ecosystem to people. No, illustrates the relationship between people and ecosystem as one circle inside one another. Now let's illustrate it. So we have now this one, the Q, sustainable development equals human well-being plus ecosystem well-being. So we need, people needs ecosystem, and ecosystem needs the people. Ano mo na siya, kinahanglan na pala siya kay kinatuyo mo alaga sa ecosystem. Without ecosystem, of course, asa man tao mo pagkaon, di ba? So there should be a shared one, no? And the prism of sustainability. Now here the prism. This model defines ASME with the help of our four components: economy, number one, environment, society, and institution. So in recent years, alternative models of the triangle of sustainable have been proposed. Among the most interesting one are prisms and eggs. So the prism of sustainable development, adapted from Spangenberg and Bonyok. I don't know how they pronounce it. If I'm wrong or not. I think I'm wrong. Valentine and Spangenberg stipulates the four dimensions: so the economic dimension, the environmental dimension, social dimension, and institutional dimension. So each dimension of the prism of sustainable development, there are imperatives as norms for action. Indicators are used to measure how far one can has actually come in comparison to the overall vision of sustainable development. So in the year 2015, leaders from 193 other countries of the world came together to face the future. So they come up with goals to be achieved by the year 2030. And what they saw was daunting, no more like the small leaders. It was daunting famines, drought, wars, plagues, poverty. Not just in some faraway place, but in their own cities and towns and villages. They knew things didn't have to be this way. They knew we had enough food to feed the world, but that it wasn't getting shared. They knew there were medicines for HIV and other diseases, but they cost a lot. Tinuod no, niya, saan na lang mga tao nga man. So they come up with the goals. So they knew that earthquakes and floods were inevitable also, but that the high death tolls were not. They also knew that billions of people worldwide share their hope for a better future. So leaders from these countries create a plan called the Sustainable Development Goals. One ang S, SDGs. They set out 17 goals. Imagines a future just 15 years off that would be rid of poverty and hunger and safe from the worst effects of climate change. Is an ambitious plan, but there's ample evidence that we can succeed. In the past 15 years, the international community cut extreme poverty in half. So more than half na down. As low as 50%. Now we can finish the job. The United Nations Development Program, or UNDP, is one of the leading organizations working to fulfill the SDGs for the year 2030. So we only have 10 more years. So present in the nearly 170 countries are territories. We help nations make the goal of a reality. We also can champion the goal so that people everywhere rather, know how to do their part. So UNDP is proud to continue as a leader in this global movement. So we have now the 17 goals. One of it is no poverty. So as along with it, the rapid growth in countries such as China and India has lifted millions out of poverty, but progress has been uneven. Women are more likely to be poor than men because they have less paid work, education, and own less poverty. The progress has been limited in other regions of South Asia and sub-Saharan Africa, which account for 80% of those living in extreme poverty. So this is one of the goals. Number one goal, no poverty. In line with those first goal, we have zero hunger. No, many developing countries that begin to suffer from famine and hunger can now meet their nutritional meals, their good needs. Central and East Asia, Latin America, and the Caribbean have all made hunger huge progress in eradicating extreme hunger. That's a good point. It also requires international cooperation to ensure investment in infrastructure and technology to improve agricultural productivity. Yes, no? Kasi asa nito makuha og food. Third, good health and well-being. Good health is essential to sustainable development, and the 2030 agenda reflects the complexity and interconnectedness of the two. It takes into account widening economic and social inequalities, rapid urbanization, threats to the climate and the environment, the continuing burden of HIV and other infectious diseases, and emerging challenges such as non-communicable diseases. So good health and well-being. Number four is quality education. There has also been a dramatic increase in literacy rates, and many more girls are in school than ever before. No, sa una gid lalaki ra gid ang pwede, karon pwede na gid ang girl. They have equal opportunity for men and women. These all are remarkable for success. Yeah, very good. Progress has also been tough in some developing regions due to high level of poverty and armed conflicts and other emergencies. Number five, gender equality. So ending all discrimination against women and girls is not only a basic human right. It's crucial for sustainable the future. It's proven that empowering women and girls help economic growth and development. No, of course. So if you have work, and we're going to pay tax, that will come to all the stacks will be in our government, and you're helping our government in that way. Gender equality, it was focused on here and women, but also no, we need to consider also the men, of course. Dili gid mapalupig ang mga men pod oy sa di ay, no? We have equal rights for men and women. Number 6, we have clean water and sanitation. So water scarcity affects more than 40% of the people, an alarming figure that is projected to rise as temperatures do. No? But by 2050, it is projected that at least 1 in 4 people will suffer recurring water shortage. Muna itong kadlukan. So karon we need to conserve our water. 7, affordable and clean energy. Between 2000 and 2016, a number of people with electricity increased from 78 to 87%. That means nakanay mga balay karon nga na ay kuryente. Yet, as the population continues to grow, so will the demand for cheap energy, and an economy reliant on fossil fuel is creating drastic changes to our climate. Is that one? Number 8, decent work and economic growth. No? As the global economy continues to recover, we are seeing slower growth, widening inequalities, and not enough jobs to keep up with the growing labor force. So, according to the International Labour Organization, more than 204 million people were unemployed in 2015. So the SDGs promote sustained economic growth, higher level of productivity, and technological innovation. Encouraging entrepreneurship and job creations are key to this, as are effective measures to eradicate forced labor, slavery, and human trafficking. No, there should be a decent work and economic growth, because if you have decent work, you can help in our economic growth. Number 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Technological progress is also key to finding lasting solutions to both economic and environmental challenges, such as providing new jobs and promoting energy efficiency, to promoting sustainable industries, and investing in scientific research and innovations are all important ways to facilitate sustainable development. Number 10, reduced inequalities. So income inequality is one of the rise. The richest 10% have up to 40% of global income, whereas the poorest 10% earn only between 2 to 7%. Grabe ka gamay kaayo. If we take into account population growth inequality in developing countries, inequality has increased by 11%. Increase the ang inequality. Now, income inequalities has increased in nearly everywhere in the recent decades, but at different speed. Number 11, sustainable cities and communities rather. Sustainable development cannot be achieved without significantly transforming the way we build and manage our urban spaces. So the rapid growth of cities, a result of rising population and increasing migration, has led to a boom in megacities, especially in the developing world, and slums are becoming a more significant feature of urban life. Making cities sustainable means creating career and business opportunities, safe and affordable housing, and building resilient societies and economies. No, that's right. Kung ay ko nadira na ang what do you call it one work opportunities, or say career and business opportunities, then it is also good to have house in the city also. But of course, we need to consider how the cities and communities has been made for to help our economy or economic growth. 12, responsible consumption. Achieving economic growth and sustainable development requires that we urgently reduce our ecological footprint by changing the way we produce and consume food and resources. No, Mano ba, no? kanang mga magkaon kaon nya dili dihot don abi kinahanglan gina siya don no kay wa ka bruno ano mga may ganit karon hindi pa nagkaon ka ang uban ra wala gikaon. A large share of the world population is still living consuming far too little to meet everyday basic needs, no? Kita gani kay mga kauntag tulo sa kaadlaw. Uban ka ha, no? Naka-wonder ba ko man, no? Or naka-think ba mo ang na mga concepts or questions? 13, climate action. Of course, having global warming and climate change, we need to have a climate action, no? There is no country that is not experiencing the drastic effect of climate change. Greenhouse gas emissions are more than 50% higher than in 1990. Global warming is causing long-lasting changes to our climate system, which threatens irreversible consequences if we do not act. That's why we have a lot of climate action to do so with our Mother Earth. So it is still possible with strong political will, increased investment, and using existing technology to limit the increase in global mean temperature to 2 degrees. That's why we have to plant more trees. No, this will also help us. 14, life below water. That's mean the marine life. To the world's ocean, their temperature, chemistry, current, and life drive global system that makes the Earth habitable for humankind. How we manage the vital resources is essential for humanity as a whole and to counterbalance the effects of the climate change. That is also needed, no? Di lang mo kita ang nagtuyo dito sa Earth, but also with the marine life, no? So we need also to reach out. So from the life below water. 15. Life on land. Human life depends on the earth as much as the ocean for our sustenance and livelihoods. So plants life provides 80% of the human diet, and we rely on agriculture as an important economic resources. So that means we also need to take part on the life on land. So we need to plant, you know, and also provide because as man tanong ko food, of course, siguro pag sa land, no? Magkakaroon nato ng mga pagkaon, mga gulay, mga other things, no? 16. Peace, justice, and strong institution. This is not inevitable and must be addressed. Armed violence and insecurity has a destructive impact on a country's development, affecting economic growth and often resulting in grievances that last for generations. Sexual violence, crime, exploitation, and torture are also prevalent where there is conflict or no rule of law, and countries must take measures to protect those who were most at risk. That's why we have this kind of goal for our people. And number 17, partnership for the goals. Of course, we cannot achieve all these goals without partnership. So SDGs can also be realized with strong global partnership and cooperation. That's why we need to cooperate with these goals, align with these goals, so that we can also benefit for this one. No? Kita na po makamit kay kita may nagpuyo sa Earth. So improving access to technology and knowledge is an important way to share ideas and foster innovation. So coordinating policies to help developing countries manage their debts as well as promoting investments for the least developed. It is vital for sustainable growth and development. So the goal is to enhance North-South and South-to-South cooperation by supporting national plans to achieve all the targets, so promoting international trade and helping developing countries increase their exports in all parts of achieving a universal rule based and equitable trading system that is fair and open and benefits all. So that is the 17 goals of the SDG. To end this, the need for change in our daily lives and the movement of our government is growing. So if humans continue moving forward in such a harmful a way towards the future, then there will be no future to consider, no? And there are still so many ways, things we can do to try and put a dent in what we really know. But raising awareness, let people know and have the conscience to the things that we are facing right now, we can help our we can help save our Mother Earth. So thank you for listening.